Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. So on Tesla stock, it's getting absolutely destroyed today, down 7%, all the way down to the support 186. And if you look at my screen, and a lot of people actually had this on their chart, this bear flag and also this mini inverse head and shoulder. Well, the inverse head and shoulder only played out half a way, and definitely now this bear flag playing out, and you can see this actually broke this mini uptrend right here from this bear flag, and big bearish engulfing candle. And Tesla definitely not looking good going into next few days, unless this is actually a bear trap and we get a big bounce over 200. If we don't get that, guys, Tesla getting all the way back down to 180 again. Going into tomorrow's session, your line in the sand here on Tesla will be 186, and just below that, this critical support, lower Bollinger Band, also sitting there at 180. Any bounce we get on Tesla, it needs to get over 194. And if you look at my screen, 194 was a big support. Also, if you look at my screen now, 20-day moving average now sitting at 193.49. So that's going to be a big level to break to the upside. If we get that tomorrow or sometime this week above 194, then we can talk about Tesla going back up to 200. As long as Tesla stays under 194, this downtrend and also this bear flag will play out, and this thing can come down to 186. And soon as 186 breaks, watch out for a move all the way down to 180 on Tesla. So Apple was fined again today, down 2.54% on that news. Massive gap down from 177.38 all the way down to the support 173.49. Now Apple here, guys, and you guys all know it, I like Apple stock more than anything here in this market. The safest name to trade here in this market without losing money. Now Apple here, if you look at my screen, it did hit my buy zone today, especially when I saw RSI down to 28. Now, every time Apple gets down to 28 on the RSI or below, we get massive bounces to the upside. And you can see every time, guys, right here, and then right here again, recently right here, and then again now getting down to 28. So yes, Apple is due for a bounce. Now, is that going to happen tomorrow? Absolutely not. Also, if you look at another thing, lower Bollinger Band now sitting at 176.44. We got a gap at 177.38, and the stock itself trading at 175 and came all the way down to next support 173. So Apple, I actually started buying today, and I'll be buying even more. We do have this head and shoulder pattern on this daily chart, and then also if you look at this weekly chart, this might be a double top on Apple. And if this is actually going to play out, yes, there might be a little bit more downside on Apple stock, and that is a great buying opportunity on Apple. And that's why I think out of all the stocks in this market, the safest stock here in this market to park your money, which is Apple, and that is why I actually bought the dip, and I'll be buying even more. So going into tomorrow's session, guys, 175, that's going to be a level to watch. But do not get surprised if this thing drops down to 173 again, and possibly all the way down to even 170. Now, as long as Apple can stay above 175, definitely there will be a bounce up to 177.38 to close this gap on top. And from there, Apple can stay above 177, then watch out for a move all the way up to 180. And once we get up to 180, then we can talk about more upside on Apple. Until then, guys, watch the resistance right here at 177.38, this gap on top, and also support at 175, 173, 170, and then 166. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow, and there is no subscription, nothing you gotta go through. It's totally free, and I do share lots of information on X. And here's a fantastic play from today, guys. And this actually came late in the day, 2:26 p.m., 800 puts, and it was trading at 874, and they were going for only $1.44 to $1.49 a piece, depending on where you got in. And then from there, this thing exploded 80% in just 1 hour, and just before closing, this thing exploded over 110%. So yes, it's really hard and risky to short Nvidia, but if you know exactly where to short and when to short, you can make a ton of money even shorting Nvidia stock. So all these plays, and especially if you want to support the channel, check out the link down below in the description for Patreon, guys. On Meta, it's down 0.82%. So Meta here, what did I say in my last video? That I don't see Meta going up that much. And this is exactly what we got. Yes, we got a fresh new all-time high, but not really going too far. And why? Because if you look at my screen, upper Bollinger Band sitting at 502, the stock cannot just run. This is not Nvidia. This thing cannot just run and stay up for too long. It came back and now trading below 500. So going into tomorrow's session, 500 will be a level to watch to the upside. Above that, we could see a move back up to, I would say, 505 and possibly up to even 520. But this Bollinger Band has to expand even more, and then we could see that move all the way up to 520. As long as Meta stays under 500, you need to watch for a pullback all the way down to this gap, 490, 170, and that's going to be a support as well. And then watch out for 490 all the way down to 476, 20-day moving average, and then this gap just under 470 on Meta. On Microsoft, is down 0.14%, so kind of a flat day on Microsoft, not trading above 415 and also not trading under 413. So that's going to be a level to watch here on Microsoft going into tomorrow's session. And on a pullback below 413, we do have support now at 411.85, rising 5-day moving average. 410, that's going to be a critical level to watch, and just below that you're going to see a dump off down to this gap, 402.29. Now as long as Microsoft can stay above, I would say 410, and takes out 415, you're going to see continuation all the way up to 420 on Microsoft, and possibly even higher once we take out this high right here, 420.82. On Amazon, stock is down 0.36%, so we shorted Amazon here exactly at the resistance today, 180, getting some 175 puts, and definitely we got paid on those. Amazon stock came all the way down to 177.58 and now trading right here before closing. So here on Amazon, guys, I also give you guys a level to the upside that early as Monday we could see Amazon hitting 180. This thing went up to 180 and immediately we saw a rejection, came back, and now trading at 177.58. So here on Amazon, path is clear. Above 180, 182 possible, and below 180, watch out for a move down to right here, 175 to 176, rising 5-day moving average. And soon as that gives up, a quick drop all the way down to 173, and then this gap, 170.23 on Amazon. As long as Amazon can break and hold 180, then there is going to be more upside on Amazon stock. But look at this Bollinger Band. It has to expand even more all the way up to 182, possibly even higher. And then you're going to see more upside on Amazon. As of right now, it's sitting at 178.75. On AMD, it's up 1.34% and now trading at 205.36 at the closing. Now here on AMD, guys, it was up more than 3%, and you can see I gave you guys the next target, which is 215, and it almost got there. 211 high for the day, another fresh new all-time high, and then a big rejection. It was getting far too overextended to the upside. Look at this upper Bollinger Band sitting at 199.32, and the stock was trading at 211. So going into tomorrow's session on a pullback, and looks like it might be coming early as tomorrow morning, AMD can close this gap from today 202.72, and that's gonna be a support. And just below that, watch out for the support at 200, and then this gap also is going to act as a support 193. Now as long as AMD can stay above, I would say, from this gap to 200, then watch out. If that support actually holds, we could see a move back up to possibly 215 on AMD before any significant pullback down to this area right here where we got that breakout 184, and that would be a nice retest of this breakout, because if you look at my screen, soon as we got that breakout, this thing went straight up, no retest, nothing, and just going up even today, hitting a fresh new all-time high. So that could be a possibility here on AMD, getting all the way back down to 184 to retest this breakout, and then we could see another leg up, possibly back up to the upside. On Google, stock is down 2.81%, so a big name like Google getting absolutely destroyed today, and also into closing trading under a critical support 135. And also it's getting really oversold and overextended to the downside. So yes, we could see a big bounce on Google stock, and that can happen anytime, guys. Now as long as Google stays under 135, we're not out of the woods, and Google can come back all the way down to 130. And we do have this gap here on Google just below 130, right here at 127.74. So you're lining the sand tomorrow on a pullback 130 and then 127.74, this gap down here. Now Google actually can get a bounce and can stay above 135, then easily you're going to see a move all the way up to 138 to close this gap on top, and possibly can move even higher all the way up to 140. And once we get above 140 on Google, then definitely there is going to be more upside, and we can talk about that in another video. On Nvidia, stock is up 3.60%, another gap up and run all the way up to fresh new all-time high 876.95, and this is where I actually got in some puts. 874, I got into 800 puts, and they were only $1.44 a piece. Guess what? Within 1 hour, from $1.44 got up to $2.40, and now I think it's trading over that. So this was more than 100% right here on Nvidia stock just before closing, and this was a really nice trade at the end. And you can see it was getting far too overextended to the upside, so I had to get some puts. Even though I don't like to trade, end of the day, I took some puts, and this thing paid today. Now what's happening tomorrow? Nvidia now, there will be support at 840. That's gonna be your line in the sand to the downside. Below that, watch out for this gap, 823, and possibly down to even 800. As long as Nvidia can stay above 840, watch out for a move back up to 876.95 and possibly up to even 900. So Netflix going down 0.5% after hitting 624.42, coming back and closing at 615.83. Going into tomorrow's session, there will be strong support down here, and that's going to be around 607 to 608, and just below that we also have support 604 and then 600 all the way down to 588. As long as Netflix can stay above, I would say 608 to 604, you're going to see this move to the upside continuing all the way up to 630 before any significant pullback on Netflix. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.